We often hear from people who are right in the thick of it when it comes to fraud. A few weeks ago, a family reached out trying to recover from some serious identity theft. So we sat them down with Amy Knopfziger. She's the head of the AARP's Elder Watch, which has a free hotline for folks who've experienced scams or fraud with advice on how to get back on your feet. You can hear their whole conversation streaming right now on 9 News Plus. But something that Amy brought up during that conversation caught our attention, and it's a great tip that we wanted to share with you. She says, if you've been the victim of a scam, you're trying to sort things out with law enforcement or your bank, try to leave the emotions out of it.
I'll listen, empathize, because that's what all humans need is, someone to listen to and someone to empathize. And then I'll say, okay, when you go to them, leave that aside and just go straight for the facts. Because a lot of these institutions, law enforcement, they're really, their job is to not be emotional because they have to deal with some really heavy stuff, right? But we bring that, and so sometimes the emotion can overtake where the data and the facts are. So give us the emotion and give them the facts.
That was the most striking part of her conversation, because these folks were dealing with, downstream effects of this. It wasn't just like, my credit card information got stolen. It was, now someone's taking my social security check and putting it into a different account. And every time I change it, it changes back. Or I've got an annuity that keeps changing like the payment amount. And so they were just trying to whack at as many moles as they possibly could and having a hard time getting there. But so much of the emotion was caught up in that story that every time they'd call to have a conversation with someone, they got stuck. And so this was the best advice I've heard, is just try to be a reporter. Report what you know, the facts, and try to keep the emotions out of it when you're talking to those other people.
Yeah, because you get hysterical about the whole thing, and then you kind of want to blame somebody, and you're just not going to get anywhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
Pretty good advice.
Thank you, Steve. All kinds of things. You got me looking for perks. I'm going to start searching.
Get those perks.
I need perks.
But don't do those online quizzes.
I know.
Stay away from those.
I'll stay away from all that. Okay.
All right.